Hey friends, today we'll discuss about the major drug that is Aconite napellus. The source is from vegetable kingdom, family Ranunculaceae, and its common name is monkshood and helmet flower. This is the picture of this Aconite napellus. You can clearly observe it. It is a violet color and Aconite napellus is the major remedy. So major remedy contains all this. We should see the sphere of action, pathogenesis, physical constitution, thermals, elements from causations, mental symptoms, characteristic symptoms, particular symptoms under the following headings: location, sensation, modalities, concomitants, general modalities, clinical indications, comparison, relationship. All these are needed in this major remedy. When we are writing in exam, the major remedy, all these contents should be, all these headings should be highlighted. Then only we should score more marks. Now we will see the Aconitum napellus from Allen's keynote. Aconitum napellus, its common name is monkshood and family is Ranunculaceae family. Next, elements from Aconitum napellus. Complaints caused by exposure to dry cold air, dry north or west winds, or exposure to draft of cold air while in perspiration, bad effects of checked perspiration. Next, constitution. In constitution is generally indicated in acute and recent cases occurring in young persons, especially girls of a full plethoric habit who lead a sedentary life, persons easily affected by atmospheric changes, dark hair and eyes, rigid muscle fiber. That means, according to this, mostly the sedentary life people, we can see this Aconitum napellus, the personality. Constitution means actually the physical makeup of their body. Actually, how they will look. Here they describe their dark hair and eyes, rigid muscle fibers, young persons, like that we can see. Next, mind of Aconitum napellus. First point, great fear and anxiety of mind with great nervous excitability, afraid to go out, to go into a crowd where there is any excitement or many people, to cross the street. Even to cross the street or to cross the road, they will get fear and anxiety because of their nervous excitability. And the next point, the accountants is expressive of fear. The life is rendered miserable by fear. Accountants meaning facial expression. That means facial expression is expressive of fear. His face is so fear. The life is rendered. Rendered meaning covered with a coat of plaster. That means he is covering the face with the fear. Fear is sure his disease will prove fatal, predicts the day he will die, fear of death during pregnancy. He will predict the time, he will predict the death of her or him when he will die, and he will get fear and anxiety, all these symptoms in them. And next point, restless, anxious, does everything in great hasty, must change her position often, everything startles him. And next point, Hahnemann says, whenever aconite is chosen homeopathically, you must above all observe the moral symptoms and be careful that it is closely resembles them. The anguish of mind and body, the restlessness, the disquiet not to be allayed. In this patient, we can observe restlessness and anguish. All these symptoms we will observe clearly. The Hanuman is saying we should observe clearly the anguish, restlessness of the body and mind. We can observe in this. Next point. This mental anxiety, worry, fear accompanies the most travel element. These are the most travel elements is anxiety, worry and fear. Next is music is unbearable, makes her sad. That is also seen in Sabadilla during menses and natrum card. In Aconite pains. How the pains in Aconite pains are intolerable. They drive him crazy. He becomes very restless at night. Next point. On rising with the recumbent position, the red face becomes deathly pale, or he becomes faint or giddy and falls, and he fears to rise again, often accompanied by vanishing of sight and unconsciousness. The pains are intolerable. Okay, mostly at night. And in the second point, the face becomes red face and deadly pale and faint and unconsciousness. He will go into the unconscious. And the third point, for the congestive stage of inflammation before localization takes place. Okay, next, respiratory system. In the respiratory system of Aconite, we will see cough, kuru, dry horse, suffocating, loud, rough, croaking, hard ringing, whistling on respiration. This also seen in causticum on inhalation, and spongia also we can see. Same like in Aconite. And in Aconite, from dry cold winds or draft of air also we can these people can affect this type of Aconite. Okay, next, female reproductive system. Amenorrhea in plethoric young girls, often afraid to prevent suppression of menses. We already discussed this. Mostly the this Aconite constitution is like sedentary people and plethoric young girls, and absence of menstruation is called amenorrhea. Okay, and in plethoric young girls, after fright, when they will get a fright with something, when they will look or when they will afraid of that, then they will get suppression. Then we can recommend this remedy. Next, central nervous system. In the central nervous system of Aconite, we can see convulsions of teething children, heat jerks and stitches of single muscles. Child gnaws its fist, wrists and screams. Skin hot and dry, very high fever. We can see all these of symptoms in Aconite. Next, fever. How fever is in Aconite? This can be asked separately in a 3 marks question, and also they will ask in 5 marks question mostly. So please concentrate on this. And first we'll see first point, fever. Fever is skin dry and hot, face red or pale and red alternately. Burning thirst for large quantities of cold water. This is the main point. Large burning thirst. How is the thirst? Burning thirst is seen in aconite for large quantities of cold water. Intense nervous restlessness, tossing about agony, becomes intolerable towards evening and on going to sleep. Mostly in the evening only, he will feel more fever and intolerable, and evening on going to the sleep. Remember the point, evening he is getting fever mostly because of typhoid fever, evening rise of temperature, right? That's why. And the next point, aconite should never be given simply to control the fever. Never alternate with other drugs for that purpose. If it be a case of requiring aconite, no other drug is needed. Aconite will cure the case. Aconite, if aconite is needed to cure that case, then no other remedy is needed. No another remedy is treated. Only aconite we can treat with the fever. Okay. Next point. Unless indicated by the exciting cause, is nearly always injurious in first stages of typhoid fever. Mostly this fever in aconite is first stages of aconite first stages of typhoid fever only we will indicate. This is the evening rise of temperature, that is the first point. So they will get nervous restlessness and tossing and about in agony, like that. This is the one of the restlessness remedy also. Aconite, arsenic album and rustox, these are the trios of aconite, trios of restlessness. Next, aggravation. Evening and night pains are insupportable in a warm room when rising from bed, lying on affected side. That is also seen in Hepar and Nexomica. Mostly in the evening rise of temperature, like in typhoid fever, and night and pains are insupportable, like that. And next is amelioration in the open air, that is also seen in Alumina, Macar, Pulsatilla and Sabadilla. Next, relationship of aconite and napellus. Complementary is to coffea in fever, sleeplessness, intolerance of pain, to arnica in traumatism, to sulfur in all cases. Next, rarely indicated in fevers also, and which brings out eruptions. Fevers with eruptions we can see in this. Okay. Next point, aconite is the acute of sulfur and both precedes and follows it in acute inflammatory conditions. It is aconite is the acute of sulfur. Thank you.